Puberty begins at different times for different people, and that's completely okay. There's no exact age or deadline, no timer that says when it's supposed to start. For some, it may begin as early as 8 or 9. For others, it might not happen until their mid-teens. That range is normal. It's important to understand that your body has its own internal schedule, and it's doing what it needs to do in its own time. Comparing yourself to your friends, classmates, or even siblings might feel natural, but it can lead to unnecessary stress. Just because someone else's voice is changing or they've hit a growth spurt doesn't mean you're behind. Your journey is yours. These changes start deep inside the brain, where the pituitary gland, a tiny but powerful part, begins to send signals to release hormones. These hormones tell your body, hey, it's time to grow. And once that process starts, it moves at its own pace. The thing is, you won't always see the changes right away. Sometimes things are happening internally first, like your brain starting to rewire itself, your metabolism shifting, or your hormones gradually increasing. Then the physical signs follow, maybe a growth spurt, or body odor, or that one random breakout on your forehead. And when it starts, it doesn't all happen at once. Puberty is a process, not a single moment. It's also worth noting that puberty isn't just about the body, it's about the mind too. You may start noticing things differently, feeling things more deeply, or becoming more aware of how you're perceived. These are signs that your brain is growing and developing. There's no shame in feeling a little awkward or confused. Everyone goes through it, even the people who seem like they have it all together. They might just be better at hiding it. What's really important during this time is learning to be patient with yourself. You don't have to rush into growing up. You don't have to look or feel a certain way to catch up to anyone else. If anything, trying to speed up your journey can take away from learning to understand and accept your body as it changes naturally. Confidence doesn't come from fitting in with everyone else. It comes from knowing who you are, respecting your timeline, and embracing every stage of growth, even the messy or uncomfortable ones. So if you ever feel left out or wonder, why hasn't this happened to me yet? Take a breath. You're not broken, you're not weird, and you're definitely not alone. You're just becoming who you're meant to be in the time that's right for you. And that's powerful. When puberty begins, one of the most noticeable things that happens is the physical transformation of your body. These changes can feel exciting, confusing, or even uncomfortable at times, but they are completely normal. What makes this phase especially unique is that it doesn't just involve obvious changes like growing taller or developing body hair. There are many subtle shifts happening beneath the surface that are just as important. Each part of your body is responding to hormones like estrogen and testosterone, which send signals to different systems and kickstart your development. For many people, one of the first signs is a growth spurt. Suddenly, your clothes might feel tighter, your shoes might not fit anymore, or your arms and legs might seem a little out of proportion. This happens because your bones are growing rapidly, and your muscles and joints are trying to keep up. It can feel awkward, but it's part of your body finding its adult shape. At the same time, your skin might start producing more oil, which can lead to acne. While breakouts can be frustrating, they're a result of your body adjusting to new hormonal levels, and they're nothing to be ashamed of. Another noticeable change is the development of body hair under your arms, on your legs, and around your private areas. This is all part of your body's natural process of maturing. You might also notice changes in how much you sweat or how your body odor smells. This is your body's way of adjusting to hormone changes and growing glands. It's normal to start exploring things like deodorant, skincare, and hygiene in new ways. It's not about becoming perfect, it's about learning to take care of yourself in a way that feels right for you. There are also changes that affect sexual and reproductive development. For girls, this might include breast development and the start of menstruation. For boys, it might involve the growth of the penis and testicles and changes in voice. These developments can be surprising, especially if they happen quickly or out of nowhere. But again, every body develops differently, and there's no rule book for how fast or slow it should go. What's really important to remember is that all of these physical changes are natural responses to a body that's growing up. They don't mean you have to act like an adult overnight or start doing things just because your body looks different. Puberty is not just about appearance, it's about transformation, discovery, and learning how to feel at home in your changing self. Some days it might feel like you're figuring it out, other days it might feel like you're completely lost. That's okay. No one has it all figured out. Just take it one step at a time, listen to your body, and let it lead the way. Emotions during puberty can feel like a roller coaster. One minute you're laughing, and the next, you're overwhelmed with a sudden wave of sadness or frustration. That emotional intensity is completely normal. It's a result of your brain developing and your hormone levels rising, which can affect how you process feelings and react to situations. What's important to understand is that you're not too sensitive or overdramatic. You're evolving, and with that growth comes a whole new layer of emotional depth. During this time, you might find that you start caring more deeply about things. Relationships, friendships, how others perceive you, these can suddenly feel way more significant than they used to. You may also become more self-aware, noticing things about your body, your personality, and your place in the world that you hadn't thought about before. This is a sign that your emotional intelligence is growing. You're starting to see life through a more complex lens, and that's a powerful step forward in your development. Mood swings are a common part of this phase. One day you might feel on top of the world, and the next you might feel like everything is falling apart, even if nothing major has changed. That's the hormones at work again, paired with your brain trying to navigate all these new experiences. It's important not to judge yourself too harshly. You're not crazy or unstable, you're just in a period of transition, and that takes a lot of mental and emotional energy. You might also start to question your identity, what you like, who you want to be, or how you want others to see you. This is totally normal. Puberty isn't just about your physical body changing. It's also about figuring out your inner self. You're allowed to explore different interests, styles, and opinions. You're allowed to change your mind. What matters most is being honest with yourself about how you feel and being kind to yourself during the process. Sometimes the emotional weight can feel like too much. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, or sad more often than not, it's okay to talk to someone about it. A friend, a sibling, a parent, or even a counselor reaching out doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're brave enough to ask for support. Everyone needs help sometimes, and puberty is one of those times when extra support can make a huge difference. Ultimately, the emotional changes you go through during puberty are a sign of growth, not just biologically, but mentally and emotionally. You're learning how to feel, how to react, how to express, and how to understand yourself. It might be messy, unpredictable, or confusing, but it's also beautiful. These emotions are shaping the person you're becoming, and that's something to embrace, not fear. Social dynamics during puberty can shift in ways you might not expect, and sometimes it feels like you're stepping into a whole new world. The friends you once felt closest to might start drifting away, and new connections might start forming with people who understand your evolving interests and emotions better. It's all part of growing up, and while it can feel unsettling at times, it's also an opportunity to redefine what meaningful friendship really looks like. You might notice a stronger desire to fit in or to be accepted by a certain group. That's completely natural. As you become more aware of yourself and others, you also become more sensitive to how you're perceived. Whether it's your clothes, your voice, your interests, or how you show up in group chats, everything starts to feel like it matters more. But here's the thing. Trying to blend in at the cost of who you truly are isn't sustainable. This is the time to start finding your voice, not silencing it. Romantic interests might also come into the picture during puberty. You might start feeling attracted to someone or begin wondering about dating and relationships. These feelings are valid and part of the journey. But it's also okay if you're not interested in any of that yet. Everyone moves at their own pace. There's no rule saying you need to have a crush or be in a relationship to prove anything. What matters most is understanding your own comfort zone and respecting others' boundaries as well. At the same time, peer pressure can become more intense. Whether it's about experimenting with your appearance, behavior, or even doing things you're unsure about, the pressure to belong can feel overwhelming. It's important to remember that real confidence comes from being true to yourself, not from following a crowd. Saying no when something doesn't feel right isn't a weakness, it's a strength. And the people who truly respect you will never force you to go against your values. Communication with parents or caregivers might also start to change. You may feel like they don't understand what you're going through or that they still treat you like a little kid. Frustration is normal here, but it can help to be open and honest about how you feel. Adults may not always get it right, but many of them truly care and want to support you. They just might need a little help figuring out how. The social world during puberty is full of learning curves. You're building a better understanding of trust, loyalty, respect, and empathy. You're figuring out who your people are and how to be a good friend or partner in return. It won't all be smooth. There will be awkward moments, conflicts, and tough decisions. But all of it plays a part in shaping your character. This is your time to start creating the kind of connections that lift you up and help you grow. Puberty isn't just a time of physical and emotional transformation, it's also a stage where you start building a deeper sense of identity and independence. Suddenly, you're not just going through the motions of life. You're questioning things. You're forming opinions, making choices, and thinking about the kind of person you want to be. This journey of self-discovery might feel confusing at first, but it's one of the most empowering parts of growing up. You begin to develop your own voice. That voice might challenge the norms you were raised with or question what you've always been told. It might speak up in class, share ideas your parents don't always agree with, or express thoughts that surprise even you. And that's okay. Finding your voice isn't about being loud or rebellious, it's about learning to trust your inner compass, even when the world around you is changing. With this newfound sense of self often comes a craving for independence. You may want more privacy, more control over your decisions, and more freedom to explore. That's a healthy part of growing up. Wanting to dress a certain way, choose your own hobbies, or set your own schedule are all signs that you're developing autonomy, but with that, freedom comes responsibility. You begin to realize that your choices have consequences, and learning to own those decisions is a big step toward maturity. During this time, it's also normal to explore your identity on many levels, from gender and sexuality to beliefs, passions, and future goals. These discoveries might come slowly or all at once. They might feel clear or incredibly uncertain. There's no one way to figure it all out, and you don't need to have everything defined. What matters most is giving yourself permission to be curious and evolve without judgment. You might feel pressure from society, social media, or even yourself to be someone or figure things out quickly. But the truth is, identity isn't something that arrives one day fully formed. It's something you build, piece by piece, through experiences, mistakes, and growth. What you're learning now will shape you, but it won't trap you. You're allowed to change. You're allowed to grow into someone new. And while independence is exciting, it can also be a little lonely. Sometimes carving out your own path means stepping away from what's familiar. But that's when you find your inner strength, the quiet kind of confidence that doesn't rely on approval from others. The more you learn about yourself, the more powerful you become. Puberty may feel chaotic, but it's also a gift, a doorway into your future. You're not just growing up, you're becoming you. And no one else can define what that journey looks like but you. Puberty is a journey that touches every part of your being: body, emotions, relationships, identity, and independence. It can be confusing, exciting, uncomfortable, and empowering all at once. From the physical changes that signal the start of something new, to the emotional waves that teach you how to feel and express yourself, each part of the process plays a role in shaping who you're becoming. You begin to see the world through a more personal lens, noticing how your social circles shift and how your need for connection and understanding deepens. You also start to explore who you really are, not just who others expect you to be. That journey might come with uncertainty and pressure, but it also comes with power. Through every high and low, you gain something valuable, a clearer, more authentic version of yourself. Puberty isn't just about growing up, it's about growing into your truth. And that's something worth embracing, one step at a time.